Hi, I'm Jennifer Wild, and you're listening to Sober Exposure. If it's about recovery, we're gonna cover it. It's like one big therapy session, but it's free. So thanks for joining our dysfunctional family as we uncover recovery with Sober Exposure. Let's go. Sober Exposure. How's everybody doing? Everyone in the holiday spirit? We've got a lot of fun for you today. And before I introduce PsychoFuzz, the band, I want to tell these guys the story of what happened between me and PsychoFuzz, because this was supposed to actually drop a couple weeks back. So we're interviewing the band PsychoFuzz. These are young adults. They're very young adults. They're in their teens, late teens. We'll talk to them in 1 second. So, we scheduled the whole thing. It was this big deal. They're so excited. They're going to get on, a big podcast, whatever, Sober Exposure. And we had audio issues. So I just want to make you guys feel better, because back in 1997, I was supposed to interview the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I got the night off. I went to the concert, went backstage, hung out, met Anthony Kiedis in a shower, interviewed Anthony Kiedis. And back then we had these things called DAT players. They were sort of like portable cassette players. Yeah, T.Y. shaking his head, yes. So they used to call me the technical bimbo. So I go backstage after the concert, obviously had a couple cocktails, the best interview of my life. Anthony Kiedis just like opened his heart out to me. And after the concert, I went back to the station because it was right down the street, because it was at Tower City at the time. These guys are from Cleveland, so they get it. WMMS was in Tower City. I went to the Gund, it was called back then, was where the Chili Pepper show was, whatever. Anyway, it was right down the block. Go back to the radio station 3 a.m. Can't wait to hear this interview. Legendary interview with Anthony Kiedis and Jen Wild. I press play. There's nothing there. Oh, I forgot to press record. Oh. So without further ado, I introduce to the world PsychoFuzz. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that it's actually a blessing in disguise, because now I have all three of you guys from the band. Yeah. We have TY in the middle, and most people listen. Most people aren't even watching this on YouTube. So we have TY, we have Ethan, and we have Owen. And tell me first, how did you guys all go to school together? How did you guys meet up, and how old are you guys?
So I just turned 18 like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And we all go to different schools, but we met at School of Rock.
Okay.
School of Rock, Cleveland. We were doing a Cream show.
Okay.
I mean, we knew each other before then, but that was when we were like, at least just start a band, and then we did.
Wow. So that's how it happened. And see, no one's heard you guys yet, so they don't realize how friggin' ridiculously amazing you guys are. And I have to be quiet because my son is in the other room sleeping, and he plays guitar too. But if he hears me raving about your band, because I don't rave about his, he'll be insulted. So anyway, I have a question about the Cream cover. Who was Ginger Baker? Who was playing drums for Cream? Was it one of you guys?
That's
me, yeah. That's Ethan?
Yes.
Dude, if you could pull off Cream, then that just says why you guys are who you are. So we're doing this podcast today actually because it's all it's the holidays, so we're doing charity and it's all about giving. So this episode is actually brought to you by Music Cares, which, because this is a recovery show, Music Cares is a foundation that actually helped me when I was in trouble, and they help musicians financially or otherwise. They help place musicians that basically are struggling with addiction and mental health issues. So they're amazing. On the page, I'm going to have everything about Music Cares. And if you want to make a donation and help a musician in need, that would be amazing. The reason why they help me, and I don't even play a note, they're certainly not because of my singing bowls, but just because I played rock and roll for so many years, I qualified. So that's awesome. So anyway, let's talk about you guys. That's how you met. Your first gig. So you guys are playing the Grog Shop, which is a local show in Cleveland. So you guys are playing clubs. How did it get to the point where now you're playing clubs and you write originals? Just tell me the whole story.
So our first gig was on my dad's car lot It was the car show. He was having a car show. It's out in like Ottawa, Ohio. We drove down there with him. Like it's like 2.5 hours, 3 hour drive. I think I only had to drive 3 hours,
3.5 hours.
or something like that. And we got paid. We got paid like $300, which was nice.
Damn. Yeah.
Which I mean, you know, you would think if you drive 3 hours, you'd get paid. So he was like, "Yeah, you guys will get paid." And I mean, it's my dad, so he gave us that gig.
$100 each, not bad, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think that what happened was we realized that we were like good, like or at least good enough, I think, to like play out, but we just didn't have any kind of fan base yet. And especially playing out in like Ottawa, Ohio. I mean, it's like 3 hours away from where you're located. Like nobody's gonna really that you know is gonna be there unless.
So your only fans at first were in Ottawa, Ohio. That's funny because they saw you guys play at your dad's. That's going to be a great story for Rolling Stone magazine, by the way.
Our first fans were our parents and my dad's employees.
I love it now. Now they're selling out the grog shop downtown Cleveland, right?
Yeah. Now, now that we've kind of it's been almost 2 years now. I think.
Over 2 years.
It's been over 2
Well,
years.
not since the first.
Not since the first gig, but since we became a band.
Yeah.
So I'd say about a year and a half.
And what kind of music do you guys play?
I like to say psychedelic progressive rock.
Right.
Because that's like kind of where it is, but we venture into other recently.
Yeah.
Ethan, do you want to tell them what we've been doing recently?
Well, we've been.
It's been
what? I mean, what do I say? We've been writing.
It's gotten into like jazz almost. But like still keeping that hard rock kind of sound.
I would start calling it more like, I don't know if it's like improv prog in a sense. That's what I would say.
Improv prog, almost fusion.
A lot of our songs that we've been writing very recently are more based on just improv and like doing whatever and, you know, just us following each other and just playing anything and everything. You know,
so groundbreaking. Like you're creating your own genre of music, basically. Sounds like
we're trying to do something.
We're trying to do something.
You are doing it. You're not trying. You are doing it. I'm going to say I'm talking. I'm acting like a mother to these guys. It's probably annoying, but like you don't try and do anything. And this is what I tell because it's also a sober show. When people say I'm trying to get sober, okay, you don't try. So like if you drop a pen, TY, if you drop a pen and I say pick up that pen, you just pick up the pen.
Right.
You just pick it up. You don't try to pick it up. So you're not trying. You are doing it. So that's just my manifestation woo-woo bullshit that I just throw in there for you guys. But you can totally hear the influences, the Rush influences. I knew right away that you guys were progressive rock, PsychoFuzz. What's the name of your album, your latest album? And if you could pick one of your favorite songs to play on here and to introduce, what would that be?
So our latest EP album is Dark Garden. There's been an issue with Spotify. It doesn't know where to put it, but we're fixing it. I'd say
basically there's two accounts.
Yeah, it's like weird. There's like two names, but
anyways, get that fixed, boys.
But anyways, the off of that EP, I'd say that either Stitious or The Rat. Those two are really hard hitting. They're just they're good rock songs. And then I think that the most experimental song that we have, I think it kind of opened up what PsychoFuzz was Redemption off of the first EP 5. That one really, I think it captured what we're trying to do at an early stage in this band's development.
That was Redemption, right? Because I remember that track myself. That was the first track I heard from you guys. So I think that's the one that we're going to play right now, I think. And we're just going to give that a spin real quick. And then you guys can talk about the inspiration and how you wrote it and how it came about. This is a Sober Exposure world premiere exclusive with the band PsychoFuzz. Here's Redemption. Give it a listen. Guys, holy oh wait, they're under 18. I can't swear. Just,
One of
can you believe-
one of us.
Okay, TY, you just turned 18. All right, but I'm just trying to prove the fact that these are young guys, man, and that is some top-notch, serious music, rock and roll music. But also, you can tell that there's some musicianship in there as well. I mean, TY and guitar is just sick. With the drum, you could tell your influences, and then. I don't want to get this wrong. So we have Ethan on bass and then Owen on drums.
No.
See, I knew I'd get it wrong, right?
Other way around. Ethan on drums, Owen on bass.
All right. Whatever. Ridiculous sound. That's another thing. You guys are it does not sound like it's only a trio. It sounds like there's like 20 people on that record.
There's only like one overdub in that, or two, a couple of.
Yeah.
We overdubbed the keyboards.
Yeah, the keyboards and then the percussion.
Yeah.
And then it was like the guitar doubling.
And then there was just the guitar doubling
you did
for
that
like
guitar double.
the rest.
Okay.
Of it was recorded live. So
when there's three of you and you're all writing, first of all, I can tell you guys all vibe and have a good relationship and stuff. I know one of the problems that my son had with his band was that my son's a freaking control freak, and if he doesn't get his way, it's no way or his way, right?
It's tough.
So how do you handle that, right? You guys like, how do you go through a writing process together? Who does what?
It changes.
Okay, I like that. It changes.
yeah.
Well, today we were writing. We had a little practice before this.
We were just recently. Yes.
And I feel like we've been writing for a while now, so we kind of get it. Like when we're in the room together, we just kind of know what's kind of going on. And usually, like, we're pretty open about, like, I don't really like that. And then, if we kind of come to the consensus that it's not really what we want, and it's like, okay, we can try something different. But if something's really like, no, I really like this, and somebody else doesn't, so there's a big like disconnect, like somebody doesn't like something and somebody really likes something, usually there's a way to meet in the middle. You just have to kind of figure it out. But don't get angry at each other for it. Just if you're making it a personal problem, that's where things go wrong. If you just make it about the music, I want what's best for the song, that is where you need to keep it. What is best for the song? What is best for like the actual creativity?
So you have to definitely put the egos aside.
Yeah.
Which is very, very hard thing to do. And that's what is gonna set you guys aside. It just seems like there's a natural collaboration between the three of you, which is so beautiful. It's awesome, and it's rare, and it shows up in the sound of the music. So let's say one of my listeners hears the podcast and they have kids, because I don't think my audience are like 18-year-old kids that like music for some reason. But what would you tell somebody that they could play this for if they have a kid that is inspiring to play music? What kind of advice would you give them? Let's start with Owen, and then we'll go all the way down.
Inspiring to play music?
Yeah, kid. Yeah.
What would you tell someone? Like, okay, I'm 13 and I really want to play guitar, but I don't know. I'm kind of scared. I don't know. Like, how did it help you?
You just gotta go with it. That's what I say. You just gotta go with it and let your creativity flow, and just let whatever you want to do with that instrument. If you want to learn something that not everyone else thinks is cool or whatever, just do it. Just learn whatever song.
Right.
Whatever.
So even if like you want to play the violin, don't be embarrassed. Play the violin and
play whatever kind of song you want. Play whatever kind of song you want. Just do what makes you happy.
Okay, great. That's good advice. I'm not going to make you guys all answer the same question. So, TY, let me ask you this. And this is going to be hard. I have a feeling I know how you're going to answer it, and then I have a feeling I know what I'm going to say to you. But all right, here's the question. Do you think that anybody could play music, or do you think that it's something that's innate, that you're born with?
100%. Anybody can play music.
I agree.
Okay. Easy for you to say, Mr. Natural Talent. Let me tell you, I know anybody, and I do agree that anybody could play music, but some people it just comes easier too. Like, the guitar, I have a little bit of rhythm with drums. I remember last time we spoke, I told you I just started playing the drums, and I mess around a little bit with the drums. The guitar, my brain just can't even have any conception whatsoever. Okay, so I'm going to have you guys come meet Hunter. And Hunter, you could ask Ethan the last question. So this is my son, Hunter. He plays guitar. Maybe you could ask them what kind of guitars they play. What kind of guitar do you play, T.Y.? Here comes Hunter. Hunter is my son that we've been talking about the whole time. And after the podcast, I know you guys are going to get along, so I'm going to hook you guys up. So, all right. So T.Y. said anybody could play music. Let me ask you, Ethan, how did you choose your instrument? Did it just come natural? Did you know that that was the instrument you wanted to play? How did that happen?
Yeah, it definitely came naturally to me because, I mean, it was the first instrument that I ever started playing. You know, I started playing when I was, like 2-3 years old. And,
Right.
Ever since then, it's just been, drums, drums, drums. And, I mean, I don't know. I just think it was definitely, it just came naturally. And it was like...
So you're one of those out of the boxers. Were you just like tapping and drumming like from the very beginning? You were one of those?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's basically how it was. Yeah.
I feel like the drummers are always the ones with the ADHD. I don't know why that is, but...
Probably, yeah.
Right? Did I nail it?
Okay. I feel like I have something close to it, but I don't know if it's actual like official ADHD. But it's something like I just can't. I don't know. I'm pretty fidgety.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Drummers are fidgety, and even if it is ADHD, you have the best outlet, better than any medication, better than anything.
Yeah.
Because what a gift! Like. That's why I'm so glad that my son, listen, I knew, and I'll say right in front of him, I knew my son he was no LeBron James. I knew he was not going to be, an athlete. So right away I was like, he's going to be, I got to get him in music. You know what I mean? Because I want him to have girlfriends and stuff. And if you're not a musician or an athlete, you ain't going to get girlfriends. Well, you still will get girlfriends, but anyway, whatever. So that's how, that brilliant mind of mine got him into guitar. I was like, listen, he's not going to be a good athlete, and I want him to get dates. It's amazing. So, all right, you guys, it's Music Cares. You could see if it weren't for music, like how has music changed your lives? And we're going to end it with that.
Oh, wow. That's a huge question.
It's probably different for all of us.
I mean,
yeah.
See, for me, I've been singing since I was 4. At one point, I was dancing for a while, and then I decided to play guitar, and that kind of took over all my interests. I instantly gravitated to music more than anything else I'd done, and I loved singing already, so once I had an instrument in my hands, I found myself just being interested in, like, something so, deeply that it almost like it could block everything out in a way where it just would I love this thing, I want this thing, and this is what I want to do. That was kind of the feeling, and eventually I think part of it was my dad bought me a really nice guitar one time when I was I think I was like 12 or 13. So I'd finally really understood guitar for the first time. I had that first big epiphany, oh, this is how you play guitar. And then he got me a guitar, and then I felt invested. Like, this is what I have to do. This is what I need.
Once you got the nice guitar, you're like, Dad sprung for the nice guitar, so now I have to learn how to play it.
And now it's like more like I've invested my life into this. So I know that it's what I want to do.
Well, yeah, it's your passion. It's your born passion. You were born to do this. What about you, Owen? How did it change your life?
Very similar to him. Like, I started playing guitar, like, around, 9 years old, and then just from there, it started growing. I instantly gravitated to writing songs. Like, that was the first thing I gravitated towards.
Really? All you guys writing, songwriting? Because I see you all shaking your heads.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the first thing I started doing was just coming up with songs. Not all of them were great, but I just started writing songs. Until this day, I'm writing multiple songs a day, even if they're not great. Like they're just songs,
That's awesome. That's all, because it's such an outlet to get feelings out, right? Get emotions out.
It's like, I'm not a sports player or anything, so.
Yeah, right. So you need that. Yeah. And that's how the song Under the Bridge started. It was a poem. And, that's how that song all came about, was just he was writing down his feelings and emotions. And I think we talked about this the last time the last time that we spoke. So, all right. We're going to have to wrap this up soon. But what about you, Owen?
Or Ethan.
Ethan's turn. I told the whole, you know what? This podcast is brought to you by Jennifer needs some kind of fish oil because my brain is just fried. But that's because this is sober exposure. I did a lot of drugs and that's a result of all that. So, all right, go ahead.
No, we should.
Ethan.
I'll be Owen, and we'll one. Okay, but anyway, for me,
He's busting up.
for
That was
me,
great.
like I said, I got into music really young. I was 2-3 years old, and I got my first drum kit from
Right,
Santa Claus.
Santa.
Anyway, yeah, and ever since then, it's been like, while all the other kids, all my peers are out playing with friends, and they're in the, they're just playing around the neighborhood or whatever, I'm always just inside and practicing, writing, listening, and it's still true today, people, I don't know, they hang out with their friends and stuff, and me, I'm like, no, man, I'm just gonna,
So you would rather hang out at home on a Friday night and write songs than go out with your buddies? And they're all saying yes. Oh my
I'd rather
gosh.
hang out with my instruments than my friends.
Yeah, that's why, I'd rather hang out with my instruments than my friends. That's why I loved my favorite meme because I used to always only date guitar players. I loved, I was one of those girls. So there's a meme that says the mistress, and there's a guy with his guitar, because I was always competing with the guitar with my boyfriends. So I feel sorry for any of your girlfriends and future wives because you're great guys, but they're constantly going to be competing with your instruments. So what a pleasure. I love you guys. PsychoFuzz, you got to tell us where we can find you, friend you. I know your next show is at the Grog Shop, December 20.
Yes.
Something, December 21. You said
21st.
yes. Yeah, December 21st, the Grog Shop. And it's PsychoFuzz. Again, Facebook page, what?
So you can find us on any streaming platform. It's just PsychoFuzz. Spotify
Same
is
thing with
weird
Spotify.
because they have two PsychoFuzzes for some reason. We're figuring it out. They're both us, but
Yeah,
we're
they're
trying to
both
just
us.
merge it. It's
I think is one has one word and one is two words.
one has a
One
capital
is a-
F, and the other one
yeah.
doesn't. And
Yeah, I noticed
it's
that.
all weird.
But if you just type in the search bar PsychoFuzz, both are going to come up.
listen to both
So-
of them. It's both us. We're trying to figure the problem out. And then on
Yeah.
social media,
We're most active on Instagram.
mostly Instagram is where I'm always talking and putting stuff and posting stuff. Usually,
Okay.
PsychoFuzz_band.
Okay.
And then the same thing on Twitter, PsychoFuzz_band. And then if you type in PsychoFuzz on Facebook, I'm pretty sure we'll come up. Our symbol's the little fuzz here. It's
Yeah.
something.
Oh, I have it. Oh, and I'm wearing my PsychoFuzz shirt too. We didn't talk about their merch. Their merchandise is it's so good, ridiculous.
We have a little PsychoFuzz
We have a
guy
little fuzzy.
here.
Oh my gosh, is that adorable? I love
His name
it.
is Jeffrey.
His name's Jeffrey. Yeah.
Did we decide on
Name to our
this?
band.
Jeffrey's the fourth member.
Did we decide on it?
Jeffrey's been an
Officially?
important name
Yes.
to our
We
band.
decided on this?
His name is Jeffrey now.
Okay.
Wow.
It's something that kind of does not really look like this, but is kind of looking like.
It looks like the Burger King grimace. You guys are too young for that. Without a body.
Yeah, basically. It's
You guys killed Grimace.
this in a little hot rod, basically. Yes. And then
Well, yeah, all kidding aside, your merch is really great. The quality of the shirts are amazing. I'm wearing one right now. I also have a black one that was a V-neck that one of my girlfriends came over, put on, and she stole. Seriously, she took it. Yeah, it's great. Their merchandise is great. Their music is even better. PsychoFuzz, Sober Exposure, another episode brought to you by Music Cares. Make your donation. Thank you so much, you guys. Mwah.
Thank you.
Need more? Of course you do. The show's all about needing more. Go to my website at soberexposure.show or get stuck on my Instagram at soberexposure_podcast.